Welcome back to Here's a Unique, extended script of over 7,000 words about the 1999 Jefferson nickel, designed for a YouTube audience interested in coin history and high-value collectibles, ending with a reference to a one-dime coin. No headings, visuals, or editing instructions included. The tale of the 1999 Jefferson nickel begins in an era not far behind, yet already fading into the historical pages of American numismatics. It was a time when coin collecting had quietly become a cultural phenomenon. The 1990s saw a boom in not only interest in rare coins but also the mysterious aura surrounding seemingly ordinary coins that could one day be worth extraordinary sums of money. Among those circulating coins was the humble yet enigmatic Jefferson nickel, minted in 1999. While many might glance over this 5-cent piece without a second thought, those who peer deeper know the incredible worth it may hold. This is not merely the story of a coin, it is a saga of overlooked value, untold rarity, and historical gravity that would eventually ignite the interest of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters worldwide. To understand how the 1999 Jefferson nickel earned its legendary status and how a face value of 5 cents transformed into an astronomical claim of $99 million, we must revisit the historical and cultural context of the time. The United States Mint was still operating under the design principles that had guided it for decades. The Jefferson nickel, which debuted in 1938, had remained largely unchanged in terms of design until the early 2000s. The coin's obverse featured a stately image of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse side stood his Virginia home, Monticello, a neoclassical icon of symmetry and vision. What made the 1999 version stand out was not an intentional design overhaul, but rather what many in the coin collecting world refer to as a perfect storm of production anomalies, transitional moments, and the whispers of error coins. It was the last full year before the dawn of a new millennium, and perhaps symbolically, or perhaps due to overlooked mechanical nuance, certain 1999 nickels emerged with minting quirks and features that made them coveted by collectors. Though most of the 1999 Jefferson nickels produced in Philadelphia and Denver were routine, with hundreds of millions minted, a select few have garnered incredible attention because of their sharply struck details, unusual die varieties, and scarce error combinations that were not widely noticed until years later. It's easy to dismiss a Jefferson nickel from 1999 as just another piece of change rattling in your pocket or hidden in a jar, but the truth is, the numismatic world thrives on stories just like this. Coins that appear mundane can often carry historical value, whether due to low mintage errors, unintentional die changes, double strikes, off-center impressions, or even planchet anomalies. There were reports in the early 2000s of collectors finding 1999 Jefferson nickels with repunched mint marks, double dies, and other die fatigue signs that were more pronounced than in previous years. These issues often stemmed from prolonged use of the minting equipment or rushed production timelines due to growing coin demand across the country. What drove the perception of high worth, however, wasn't just the errors themselves, but the mystique of the coin being a product of a turning point in American minting history. As coin designs began to shift in the early 2000s, particularly with the Westward Journey nickel series starting in 2004, collectors began to look backward, identifying the final years of the original Jefferson nickel design as a collectible era in its own right. And 1999 stood proudly as one of the last untouched specimens of the classic design before radical changes swept through the minting process. One of the primary drivers of rarity in the coin world is condition. When a 1999 Jefferson nickel is found in near-perfect or mint-state condition, especially with full steps on Monticello, a feature highly scrutinized by grading companies, it jumps in desirability. A coin graded MS-66 or MS-67 with full steps can be worth hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars depending on the registry set demand. It's not impossible to imagine that if only a handful of these top-graded examples exist, speculative value can skyrocket. Collectors, especially those building high-end registry sets, are willing to pay hefty premiums for just one piece that completes their lineup, but this is where the value journey starts to curve into mythology. Every coin has a monetary face value. For the 1999 Jefferson nickel, that value is, quite obviously, 5 cents. But when certain stories circulate, rumors of a one-of-a-kind misprint, a double denomination strike, or an uncirculated proof version mistakenly released into circulation, the legend begins to take shape. There have been tales told in numismatic circles of one particular 1999 Jefferson nickel struck on a dime planchet, blending two denominations into a singular numismatic anomaly. While most experts remain cautious in verifying such stories, even the hint of possibility is enough to ignite public imagination. So how does a 5-cent coin reach the conceptual value of $99 million? Part of the allure is psychological. The year 1999 holds a millennial significance that cannot be overlooked. It was the last year of a century, a time riddled with fears of Y2K and dreams of technological utopias. Every artifact from that time carries a sense of transition. And a 1999 Jefferson nickel, in flawless condition, from that pivotal moment in time, becomes a token of history, a time capsule in metal. It becomes more than just a coin. It becomes an investment in nostalgia, a key to the past, a story told in copper and nickel alloy. Over time, collectors and media enthusiasts exaggerated certain features or tales, circulating speculative values, like the infamous $99 million tag. While no confirmed auction has reached that astronomical figure, the phrase sticks in the collective imagination. The coin becomes a symbol of how value can transcend material worth, how stories amplify significance, and how rarity can be more than a numbers game. It can be a matter of cultural resonance. This coin has also seen renewed attention due to the digital age of collecting. Online marketplaces, social media groups, and coin forums are flooded with images, questions, and requests for appraisals of 1999 Jefferson nickels. Many ask, is this the rare one? Do I have the $99 million coin? These queries are often driven more by curiosity than fact, but they underscore a deeper point: the coin has entered legend. The 1999 Jefferson nickel has achieved what few coins ever do. It has become famous, not just for what it is, but for what it might be, and let's not forget the role that grading companies play in perpetuating value. A 1999 Jefferson nickel that receives a top-tier grade from PCGS or NGC is effectively elevated into a higher realm of collectability. Slabbed coins with designations like FS, full steps, or PL, proof-like, carry premiums, especially in rare years or under unusual conditions. Even more valuable are the few examples that escape into the public in proof-like condition from standard circulation. These transitional strike patterns or hybrid strikes are where the big money speculation begins, but while the high-end collector's market flirts with the idea of astronomical valuations, everyday coin enthusiasts also fuel the fire. The average person who finds a shiny 1999 Jefferson nickel in pocket change is encouraged by viral videos, online articles, and treasure-hunting blogs to believe they might be holding a fortune. That energy creates demand. It creates storytelling. And it creates a thriving ecosystem where even the idea of a $99 million nickel becomes plausible. There are also countless private collections across America and abroad that hold 1999 Jefferson nickels with unknown anomalies. Some may never be discovered. Some may rest in forgotten boxes, ungraded and unnoticed, waiting for the right eyes to uncover them. This uncertainty is what keeps the legend alive. Every day is a new opportunity for a collector to stumble upon a coin that defies expectations, and for every discovery, there are thousands of stories left untold. Each coin minted in 1999 traveled a different path, passed through countless hands, witnessed history in the making, participated in commerce, and now might be resting in a collection, a drawer, or a display. Each one is a silent witness to the economy, culture, and daily lives of millions. What started as a utilitarian object for spending has, over time, morphed into a symbol of numismatic ambition. The 1999 Jefferson nickel has become a gateway to larger conversations about value, rarity, and history. It's not just about the metal or the mint mark, it's about the story, the hunt, the dream. And whether the coin is worth $5, $500, or the fabled $99 million, the journey to uncovering its worth is where the real treasure lies. So next time you come across a 1999 nickel, don't just toss it aside. Hold it. Observe it. Study its details. Look for the steps on Monticello, the sharpness of the strike, the position of the mint mark. Because hidden within that small coin may be a clue to a larger mystery. A gateway into a world where history meets fortune, and legends are made from the most unassuming artifacts, and if you're lucky, if you're really, truly fortunate, you might be the one to uncover the next big story in numismatic history. Maybe you'll be the one to find the true $99 million Jefferson nickel. Until then, keep looking, keep searching, and keep collecting. Because every coin has a story, and some stories are worth more than gold. Like, subscribe, and keep your eyes. Next today, here's a unique, long-form script of over 7,000 words for a YouTube video centered on the 2020 Jefferson nickel, its historical context, collector interest, and a fictional narrative claiming a $20 million face value, crafted in a trending style. It includes an engaging story arc with a strong emphasis on rarity and value, and ends with a compelling call to action. In a quiet part of America, where time seems to move a little slower and stories still breathe through the people who remember them, there exists a tale so peculiar, so extraordinary, that numismatists, collectors, and even casual coin lovers find themselves drawn to it with unstoppable fascination. It's a tale about a 5-cent coin that redefined what we think we know about value, history, and the mystique of American minting. This story revolves around the 2020 Jefferson nickel, a seemingly ordinary coin that would go on to claim a spot in history not just for its mint mark or strike, but for an unimaginable face value of $20 million, forever altering the perception of what big money in coin collecting truly means. The year 2020 will be remembered for many things: a global pandemic that changed the way we live, social movements that redefined justice, and an economic upheaval that had people clinging to stability. But hidden within all this turbulence was a metallic whisper. A nickel. Not just any nickel. One that would emerge from the mints of Philadelphia and Denver and quietly enter circulation with an unassuming face. It carried the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, statesman, visionary, author of the Declaration of Independence, just like so many others before it. But this one was different. And its story begins long before it ever touched the hands of collectors or entered velvet-lined display cases locked behind bulletproof glass. To understand the 2020 Jefferson nickel is to delve deep into the roots of American coinage. Jefferson's face first graced the nickel in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel and ushering in a new chapter for the 5-cent denomination. For decades, his dignified profile faced left, set against Monticello, his Virginia home and architectural legacy. Over time, slight changes were made. The metal composition shifted. The design underwent transformations. The Westward Journey series of the early 2000s temporarily disrupted the flow, injecting exploration-themed reverses. But in 2006, a new obverse returned, now showing Jefferson looking forward, engaging with the holder, more alive and present than ever before. This design remained through to the year 2020, but something about that year's mintage caught attention. Whether it was a certain inconsistency in the strike, a faint doubling visible under microscopic scrutiny, or the unusually low circulation numbers caused by nationwide coin shortages, no one could quite pinpoint it. The truth, as it often is with such rarities, was more elusive. The U.S. Mint had scaled down production temporarily due to COVID-19 protocols, and with reduced manpower and shifting demand, anomalies slipped through the cracks. Certain 2020 nickels bore curious errors, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, and even unheard-of full brockage reverses that collectors had never seen associated with this series. Rumors swirled. Forums lit up. Whispered posts began to spread across Reddit, Facebook collector groups, and obscure numismatic chat boards. Find the 2020 nickel with the Monticello tilt, it's worth thousands. Look for the full step reverse, one sold for $7,500. Watch out for that phantom deep error. And then came the legend that it started with a Midwest estate auction, innocuous and unremarkable on the surface. A shoebox full of loose change, a forgotten relic from a dusty attic. Among wheat cents, mercury dimes, and oxidized quarters lay a single 2020 Jefferson nickel sealed in a makeshift plastic holder. It was marked with a handwritten note, "Do not sell. Rare." $20M face. Of course, the auctioneer laughed. Who wouldn't? But the note wasn't what drew attention, it was the coin itself. Slightly heavier. Different hue. Unmatched luster. And strangest of all, the inscription on the reverse read not 5 cents, but 1 dime. A printing mistake? A fantasy piece? Or a secret test strike never meant to leave the mint? The coin passed through several hands before finding itself in the lab of a private mint historian and forensic metallurgist. Her analysis confirmed what the community had only speculated: the coin had anomalous metallic content. Its weight did not match any known nickel issue. More shockingly, the text and structure hinted at a transitional error involving dime planchets. But that didn't explain the reverse. No Monticello. Instead, there was a fully detailed dime-like torch reverse, eerily resembling the Roosevelt dime motif but with Jefferson's face on the obverse. This wasn't a simple misstrike. This was something else. Word got out. Suddenly, collectors began scouring their drawers, jars, rolls, and bags for 2020 nickels. Coin roll hunting surged. Listings popped up across online marketplaces with aggressive pricing. Rare 2020 nickel error, potentially $20M. Whether any others were real was unknown. The original remained elusive. Its whereabouts, after that first auction, became a matter of private transactions, sealed deals, and million-dollar trades behind closed doors. Meanwhile, demand for even regular 2020 nickels exploded. Every error, no matter how minor, fetched hundreds. A few MS-67+ examples graded by top institutions like PCGS or NGC soared to prices north of $3,000, unheard of for modern nickels. But it was all part of the fever. The story had taken hold. The myth had legs. And it was running, and why not? Coins have long held value far beyond their face. A 1913 Liberty nickel, for example, just 5 known to exist, is now worth over $4 million. A simple double-die penny from 1955 can bring in 6 figures. When rarity, story, and error converge, the market responds with frenzy. The 2020 Jefferson nickel became the latest expression of that age-old equation. But it wasn't just money. It was mystery. Who minted this coin? Was it a rogue engraver at the mint testing designs? Was it a mechanical slip that created a one-of-a-kind hybrid? Or was it something even stranger, a purposeful anomaly created for reasons we might never fully understand? Collectors who own rolls of 2020 nickels now inspect each one with magnifying lenses, hunting for slight shifts in the font, minuscule die cracks, planchet bubbles, or variations in the Monticello structure. Some swear they've found different doorframe detailing. Others claim microlettering is present under high resolution. Whether these are real, imagined, or coincidental, the hype grows. This single coin, this whisper of a 2020 nickel with a dime's designation and Jefferson's gaze, has become a numismatic holy grail. Not listed in official guides. Not confirmed by the mint. Yet desired by the thousands. A coin that was never supposed to exist. A coin that defies logic. And with it, a face value tag that stuns even the most seasoned collectors, $20 million. Of course, value is subjective. It is not always about gold content or mintage numbers. It is about story. And the story here is unlike any other. A Jefferson nickel that became a dime. A 5-cent piece claiming the weight of 1,000 legends. A 2020 coin born in chaos and elevated to myth. The face value? $20 million, not in legal tender, but in what it represents to the collector community. A relic, a beacon, a dream that we often ask ourselves what makes a coin valuable. Is it the age? The metal? The rarity? Or is it the emotional connection, the passion, the lore? The 2020 Jefferson nickel is all of these. And none. Because it stands in a category of its own, an impossible object that somehow exists, and continues to drive the collecting world into a storm of obsession and awe. today, coin shows across the US and beyond hold panels just to discuss this anomaly. The 2020 nickel enigma. Experts theorize, collectors speculate. Children beg their parents to let them sift through pocket change. Retirees cash in old bags hoping they unknowingly own a piece of this modern treasure. Museums have attempted to trace the original. Insurance firms have even floated policies on potential, lost rare nickels. The obsession grows, and all of it loops back to that single moment in time, a mint error, a misunderstood strike, and a shoebox holding what might be the most expensive 5-cent piece ever created. So the next time you hold a 2020 Jefferson nickel in your hand, think beyond the silver sheen, beyond the familiar face of Thomas Jefferson. Look closer. You may be staring at history. Or maybe, just maybe, you're holding a whisper of legend, a coin born to be more than its weight, more than its face, more than any catalog could quantify, and if by chance you spot that one dime inscription, if you notice the unusual reverse, the strange weight, the shine that seems not quite right, hold on to it. Because you may just be holding a piece of the $20 million mystery that still dazzles the world. Whether fact or folklore, it is now a part of numismatic eternity. If you've made it this far, then you know how deep the rabbit hole goes. From the standard 2020 nickels that sell for hundreds due to minor errors to the ultimate unicorn said to bear the soul of a dime, this story proves that in the world of coin collecting, anything is possible. What began as 5 cents ended with a $20 million legend. Like the whispers passed down from collector to collector, the story of the 2020 Jefferson nickel continues to grow. And now it's in your hands. What you do with this knowledge, how closely you examine the coins in your possession, may just determine whether you are the next person